Welcome back to Biotopes, everybody. In today's video, we're going to do an unboxing of the Bubble Magus water pump. This is the Rock series, the wp2000. So I got this from Salty Critter, one of my local fish stores, and this is going to be one of the first two return pumps in our first setup. So let's take a look at the box. Alright, this is the Bubble Magus Rock WP submersible pump. That means water pump. This is the 2000, and on the 2000 it is rated at, you guys can see that, 554 gallons per hour, and which is about 2100 liters. The max head is 2.2 meters, which is just over 6 feet, 87 inches. So plenty of lift. This is going to go in the sump to our lower tank, so that return is about 4 feet. So I'm looking for 300 gallons per hour, so turn that tank over 4 times, and that should do it for me. So let's get in here and take a look at what's inside. Here's some instruction manuals. Here is the pump itself. Put this down. So here's the pump. Feels really well built. Nice cord. This is pushing 48 watts on this, so some pretty good energy savings there. There's your intake, there's your output. In the box we have, these are the suction cups, and oh, it looks like it slides right on. Boom, there you go. And you can take that off. Looks like here by just lifting this tab, and then it slides off. Let's see if I can get it to go back off now. Yep, there it goes. So off and on. So that's nice. Here is the output. So this is a 3/4 inch barb. That goes on just like that. And here is the protective screen. Looks like that just pushes right on top. So that's nice. Also looks like I can take this off if I need to and service the impeller inside just by removing that plate, which I won't do. That locks in, and then this just pushes on here. This is not adjustable, so I did get a ball valve to adjust the flow. But that's it, boom, pretty simple, good size. And next we'll get it in the tank and get everything plumbed out. Stay tuned. All right, so here is the hose I'm going to use to go from our pump here to the return. This is 3/4 inch interior diameter, just vinyl hose, pond hosing. So that'll connect onto that bar fitting. What I'll do is I'll connect a ball valve. This is a 3/4 inch ball valve here. Just real simple. This is just from Two Little Fishes. Got it from my local fish store, and it will just turn closed and open there. I don't think it matters which direction it goes, but it looks like that'll be in, that'll be out. It'll make it easier, and I'll just turn it adjust that flow. So then I'll do some more hosing, and we'll do a, this is an eShops 3/4 inch return. Yep, there's a return jet here. So this is adjustable right there, and the hose end go on that, and then that will go just on the back of the tank, and we'll adjust that once we get it in the tank there. So that is that, and then we'll get things connected. Okay, so what I did is I attached a adjustable stainless steel ring to this hose so that it's nice and tight. You want to make sure you do that so that it's watertight so we don't get any leaking, because the fit isn't tight enough on its own. So you can use these. They also make like alligator clips. You could probably use a zip tie, although I've not tested that. So make sure you do that where your hose meets your return assembly. Next, we'll get it on the tank and measure out the hose. So I'm just going to fit this hose back behind this tank. Let that drop down. And then just loosely fit this into place. Obviously not the final resting place for that, but it's going to be on this side. And we'll adjust that later. Next we'll pull this down and through. And I'll try to leave some slack to attach this into place if I could. Okay, so what I did on this outflow, if you can see, I put a zip tie, tied that to the side of the rack so that I could get the outflow at the right level, at least for now, and I can adjust that later if I need to. But that is set. I don't want it too low because if power went out, I don't want a lot of the water to drain back into the sump. Obviously with a 10-gallon sump, I don't have a lot of room. I'm also, I think, going to drill a small hole just under the water line. So I'll play around with that once we get water in the tank. That way, if the pumps stop, the power goes out, that small hole just below the water line will break the siphon. So just an idea, but wanted to get that set now. And the next step is going to be trimming the vinyl hose at the right length, and then installing the ball valve. So we'll get into that here next. Okay, so I got some of these just PVC cutters. They also are set to cut vinyl hosing tubing, so these are great. So all I want to do is make sure I cut this hose at a place where it is above the sump, so that this is accessible for me to dial in the flow from the pump. So any place in here, now that I've got that set up there, my outflow, I can kind of decide where I want this to be set in. I'm just going to go right up here. This is a pair of cutters that are for all kinds of different materials. So these are really great, easy, and super sharp. So you can see where I cut that, you can see through the tank. So I'm just gonna heat that end up a little bit and attach my ball valve. Okay, now that ball valve is onto the hose, make sure you push it all the way. Now we're just gonna cut a piece to fit the output of the pump into that ball valve, which isn't that far. Screw this barb fitting in. Just give it a good hand turn. Will be just below the water level, so should be plenty. We're just going to estimate here. This is about 9 inches or so. 9-inch piece. That should be good. I'm just going to heat up the one side, put this on the side of the pump first. I think I want to make sure that the hose the water's running the flow that the hose indicates. The hose will have a flow arrow which way the direction the water should go, so make sure you follow that. Get up this other end and put the ball valve on that side. That should soften up enough. Let's check it out. Make sure it's all the way on. It's all the way to the end as far as it can go. Long enough you can't have any potential leaks. Alright, so that is all the way in there. Perfect fit. Okay, so you can see there, that's where the tube attaches to the pump. And there is the ball valve, both sides, so I can now adjust on this particular pump. This Bubble Magus Rock does not have an adjustable flow on it, so I needed to install a ball valve there to adjust that. That way I can dial in between the two pumps and the overflows in the tank, the correct amount of flow coming into the sump and then back out to make sure that it's even. That way it's not overflowing either side. So really the next thing we have to do is get another pump for the 75 on top, and then we'll really have, I gotta get a return up here, some hosing, and then a pump down here. I think I'm gonna get a CJ Synchro 3.0. I found a used one at Salty Critter, my local fish shop, for like 60 bucks. So that's got plenty of power. So I think I'm gonna pick that up here next and then get that plumbed in. Once that's plumbed in, then I can start running water before I fill the tanks up with any kind of scape or anything else. Just get the flows dialed in correctly between both tanks and both pumps and the overflows, and then we'll be ready to start setting the tanks up. So we'll get the next pump next. All right, we're back, and we can get you an update here on the sump. As you can see, I've got the second return pump in there and plumbed. That is a CJ Synchro 3.0. So it's a little more powerful to push that water up about 6 feet to the top tank. It's an adjustable flow, so I did not need a ball valve. In the sump, I moved one of the baffles up a little bit to make room for both pumps. And you can see I kind of moved it off the bottom of the sump a little bit to force that water underneath there. And I've got a bunch of sponge, just an old pieces of filter sponge there. And we've got our Ball E 300 watt heater and our wet dry trickle filter there. So we should be all good in the sump. That Synchro is plumbed up behind here, and here's our return on the top tank. So really the next step is to add water, work on our fill system, which I've got a great idea for that build, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got our first sump and tanks all plumbed. Now all we've got to do is get the water fill system plumbed in, and we'll be ready to get these tanks running. Thanks again so much for tuning in to the Biotopes. If you like this kind of content, you want to come along for the ride here on this fish room build, please be sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please share this if you know someone who this might enjoy this type of video. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.